Fox Nation America is streaming.
It's a year since Fox Nation last visited the border. As a new administration enters the White House, the cartels are more powerful than ever.
Most Americans don't believe it.
And the cartels have the biggest presence in the U.S.
They do. It's become a national security issue.
Now we return to reveal the danger on our doorstep and what we're doing to stop it. They've been trained for war, and we haven't been paying attention.
Laura Logan has no agenda. The new season available now, only on Fox Nation.
So after I picked up my second master's degree, and after a journey in general practice and 10 years in mainstream medicine, I was invited to be part of a study. The study was over the course of a year and measured the effect of Balance of Nature of those who were faithfully taking it. And it was really interesting to see the correlation for those who did stay on Balance of Nature. It was statistically significant. Individuals that stayed on the product consistently had tremendous health benefits. It just made me a believer. You know, seeing the fruits and vegetables come in and then seeing it being put in a form that can be taken each day, and then seeing those that benefit from it was fantastic. It's basically getting those fruits and vegetables into our system so we can help our bodies be healthier. It was a great thing.
Start today by going to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FOXNEWS.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow. Thanks to your support, you've helped make MyPillow become one of the fastest growing companies in America. Over the last 12 years, you've helped MyPillow create thousands of jobs right here in the USA.
When I got MyPillow, I'm asleep almost immediately. I stay asleep at night and I wake up more well-rested in the morning.
That's why I invented MyPillow. My patented fill adjusts to your exact individual needs and helps keep your neck supported and aligned. I'm interrupting this commercial right now to give you deep discounts, not just on my pillows, but also my mattress topper, sheets, and so much more. For example, you can get body pillows regularly $89.99, only $29.99 with your promo code. With our 60-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Sleep well, America! For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit mypillow.com.
A success story that really stuck with me was Fern Gully. Fern Gully was found dragging herself across a stranger's lawn. She was 1 year old and she only weighed 11 pounds. Thanks to the outpour of support from the cuddly community, we were able to raise $20,000 for her medical care. Thanks to the food, treats, and nutritional supplements, she is now happy, healthy, and in her new forever home.
Save the furry friend in need with cuddly.
On this show, we'll always call out the left's double standards, and we will always hold them accountable. Don't miss tonight's Hannity.
Selling a home is expensive and stressful, so we set out to create a better home selling experience with a network of the most successful real estate agents in America that'll sell your home for as little as a 2% commission.
The icing on the cake with the ideal agent was that we saved $12,000 in commission.
They were so stress-free. The whole process was amazing, and I would definitely recommend them.
We are not a discount brokers. These are top local agents that'll get you the best results.
The minute you're diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, you should have a Dexcom. Knowing where your numbers are going before they get there, it's a superpower.
I've had other systems, and I'm on this one because it's the best and because it works. It's easy to wear, it's easy to put on, you can see it right on your phone. I can't imagine anything simpler.
No finger sticks. I can't say that enough. I think that's an incredible advancement.
This is the CGM technology you've been waiting for.
Well, the first time we told you about the recall effort in California, the one to remove Gavin Newsom as governor, it seemed like just a remote possibility. Now it has a very real chance of succeeding. Interesting. Meanwhile, under Los Angeles' new progressive DA, George Gascon, more hardened criminals have a chance to get out of prison than ever before. That would include serial rapists. Bill Melugin is a reporter with Fox LA. He's got that story for us tonight. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Tucker, good evening to you. So, literally, as soon as DA George Gascon took office here in LA, he issued a series of directives that he says are meant to stop a system of mass incarceration here in Los Angeles. He got rid of cash bail. He's no longer prosecuting juveniles as adults. He got rid of gun and gang enhancements. He got rid of special circumstance allegations. He's no longer prosecuting California's 3 strikes law. And he's no longer allowing his own prosecutors to attend parole hearings for criminals when they have a parole hearing. And that's causing issues for victims' families here in LA. If we can pull up a mugshot, this is a story I did last night. This is Howard Jones, a double murderer who shot and killed 2 teenagers back in 1988. He's been in prison since 1991. He was denied parole 2 times in 2015 and 2017. But yesterday he had a 3rd parole hearing, and because prosecutors weren't allowed to attend it under Gascon's reforms, he was granted parole yesterday. It's going to be up to Governor Gavin Newsom, but the victim's family are furious. They say they were abandoned. They had to face the killer alone with no support. And they say it's disgusting that he is going to potentially get out after only 30 years in prison for killing 2 people. If we can pull up another story, this is one I did Monday night. This was the subterranean rapist. This was a guy who terrorized LA back in 1981. He raped or sexually assaulted approximately 50 women. He's got a parole hearing coming up, and just like the last story, he is not going to have prosecutors there because of Gascon's reforms. No one's going to be there to argue that he stay locked up. And his victims who I interviewed, they are terrified. They say they're going to have to face that guy, the guy who raped them, and they're not going to have any support there. And then last month, if we can pull up another mugshot, this is probably the most heinous one yet. This is a man who raped 2 young children when they were ages 6 and 8. This was in the early 2000s. He raped them repeatedly, sodomized them. He's been in prison since the early 2000s. He also has a parole hearing coming up, and you can guess where this is going. Prosecutors will not be at that hearing. The victims, horrified, they're going to have to face him alone, terrified that he could potentially get out. A recall of George Gascon, an effort for it, has already started. He's only been in office for 2 months, Tucker.
Really shocking stories. Bill, I appreciate your bringing those to national attention. This stuff has gotten lost. You've been on it, terrier-like, and I appreciate it's important. Thank you. So at the end of last night's show, right at the end, we told you that the Dwarf King might be vacating his musky lair over at CNN. Turns out we were right. This morning, Jeff Zucker informed his bewildered minions at the disgraced cable channel that, in fact, he is leaving at the end of this year. And honestly, we're going to miss him. In a business filled with blustery half-wits, Zucker was absolutely the blusteriest, if that's a word. You cannot be elected president of the United States without CNN. He's once boasted to his felon lawyer buddy Michael Cohen on a tape we brought you a few months ago. Hilarious. It's kind of hard to beat that level of entertainment with your pants on. You didn't even have to watch CNN to enjoy it. But it's also worth remembering Jeff Zucker's other contribution to the American media landscape. Jeff Zucker's relentless attacks on the freedom of speech. Zucker created an entire unit at CNN devoted to shutting down any news organization that refused to toe the ruling class line. If you had unauthorized questions about anything, Jeff Zucker wanted to force you to be quiet, and he tried. Zucker staffed his own little ministry of truth with 2 of the most repulsive yet obedient imposters he could find. Political activists posing as reporters, thugs pretending to be objective analysts. He set them loose to silence free-thinking journalists with threats, lies, and bullying. In a number of cases, they have been successful, a tragedy every time. CNN is, in fact, trying its best to pull this show and Fox itself off the air for good. Harm reduction, that's what they call it, as if Fox News was a deadly pathogen. That is not the behavior of a legitimate news organization, but it's exactly what CNN has become. A TV channel that makes $1 billion a year using the First Amendment to kill free speech in the rest of the media. That's wrong, but it's not just wrong, it's frightening. You don't want to live in the country CNN is creating. But Jeff Zucker has not done this. Going forward, we want to be a lot more specific and much more detailed about who is trying to strip you of your most valuable birthright as an American, which is the freedom to speak and hear the truth. Everything is based on that.
Taking a picture of this?
And you should know the names of the people trying to take it away.
Why?
You should know why they're trying to do it.